Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael, aka Rickshaw, aka B Pain, and you're nerding out with Rickshaw. And you're also nerding out with some of my friends.
Hello, I'm Fuzz.
I like how it blocks your face
I
whenever
know,
it
right?
shows
Right?
up.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to say there. I'm just like, my name's right there, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So
You look like Wilson from Home Improvement.
if I had something good to say, Jesus,
Yeah.
something enlightening.
And I am the producer, Toby.
No nicknames today,
I
Toby.
don't got a nickname right now.
But yeah, today we're gonna talk about a little show called Swarm that just came out, and it's I kind of ran through it real fast, but it was pretty incredible. But first, do you guys have a problem hearing music when everybody's talking at the restaurant you're at for some reason? Well, you should probably pick up some headphones if you're that person that goes to public places and listens to music really loud. Get some headphones, Go to the link in the description, click on the link, pick out a pair of Sennheiser headphones, and if you type in the promo code 10 nerding out, you will get 10% off that pair of headphones. There's in-ears and there's over the ears, so you can mix, your new album, that's coming out, that's going to storm the world.
Storm the
So
world.
yeah, it's gonna storm the world. I believe in you, and let's start with those headphones. So yeah,
I can't even take that seriously. I don't even know what to say.
Thought he was about to say storm the Capitol.
Whoa!
I was like,
whoa!
whoa.
That's not what these
Sennheiser does
headphones do.
not in any way.
So yeah,
Uh,
we're gonna talk about Swarm today because I'm a huge Donald Glover fan. I don't know if y'all are.
Oh, I
Do
love
y'all?
Donald Glover. I think he's
Yeah.
great.
Fuzz, are you a Donald Glover fan?
I think Atlanta wasn't good.
You didn't think it was good?
Oh,
How much did you watch?
first two seasons.
And you didn't think it was good?
No.
Okay. Well, potato.
I'm not saying I don't
patootie.
like him. I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
he's
it's
done
just,
some really cool stuff. It's just, I didn't care for Atlanta, but I
it's
also
just a very specific style of humor. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
confusing laughing. You're like, ha 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 ha.
I spent most of my days. So
Yeah. Well, he recently put out, I think it was the beginning of March, a show called Swarm. And I watched every episode in like 2 days. Uh, Toby, you said you watched it, right?
Yeah, I just actually finished it last night. I have mixed feelings on it. I wasn't a fan of the ending. We're not going to spoil it, but I wasn't a fan of the ending. But I did like what was going on in the story, and it was different.
Yeah, so we're going to give mild spoilers because we're going to talk about what the show is about, but just like what Fuzz was saying, like Atlanta, if you've seen Atlanta, Donald Glover wrote and produced that. He also wrote and produced Swarm, but Swarm is more of like a horror style show.
Yeah.
But it still gets kind of funny because I think that his approach to the shows that he does is like it's supposed to be serious and it's supposed to be like this real world scenario, but then things in real life just get kind of funny sometimes, and you end up laughing about it even though it's like pretty serious because this show is supposed to be a take on like toxic fan culture, and Beyonce is like the specific person like it's kind of based on, right? So it's about how Beyonce's fan group is called like the Beehive, right? And they all have like a Twitter
oh,
group, and like it gets to the point where like if anybody says anything bad about Beyonce, they like go off on you and all this stuff. Well, this show is about a girl who loves Naja, which is a famous artist that's supposed to be Beyonce,
Yeah.
and she ends up snapping with something in her real life, and then pretty much she goes on to this the Swarm, which is a Twitter site where they talk about this famous artist, and she just fucking murders people that talk shit about her favorite artist.
Yeah.
And it like gets so wild to where you're like there's times where you're like jaw drops, like it's so violent, and then there's times where you're laughing about it at the same time.
Yeah, there's some like, I don't know. It's really hard to explain because it does get a little cartoony sometimes, but it's still like it's this. She's just psychotic, something snapped in her, and it dives deep into her like past and stuff, and like.
Yeah.
She's obviously got some kind of issues, and like something triggers it though at the very beginning of the series.
But it's just fun to think about like Donald Glover watching this real life toxic fan culture happen and being like, I'm gonna write a show about this. And then like
honestly, it's genius.
Yeah, because it even gets to the point where like once she does, spoiler alert, but once she does start murdering people, she'll seriously just like find someone who's been talking about nausea, and then like there's a scene where she like hits this dude in the kneecaps with a hammer, and she's like, who's your favorite artist?
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, Little Babel, and then she's like, Little Babel only has 1 Grammy. Naja has 26 Grammys.
Like she does that a lot where I thought it was going to be a continuing thing, but she does it to a few people. She's like, who's your favorite artist? And they'll say something. She'll be like, how many Grammys do they have? And they're like, I don't know. Because, they're not like, they're not psychotic like her to where they're keeping up with everything that she does. And they're like, I don't know. And she's like, 0. They don't have any Grammys. And then she starts wiping them out. So.
Yeah.
Super fans are toxic.
Yeah.
That seems like the message here because I think it's true. I agree with that.
It's only 7 episodes, right? 6 or 7?
It's 7. And they're all like 30 to 40 minutes.
I'm going to have to watch it.
It's very digestible. It really is. And each episode keeps you going, wanting more to be like, what is she going to do next? And then I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but there's one episode, it just stops because it's like something completely different. And you're like, whoa. And it's kind of cool, but you're like, where is this going? So I don't know. It does keep you hooked all the way through it. I wasn't a very big fan of the ending. I even texted Rickshaw and I was like, what the fuck? I was a little irritated about it. We're gonna have to talk about it off camera here in a little while, but it irritated me a little bit. So,
well, it's just you start to think about how crazy she is, and then they start kind of like elaborating that through what is shown.
Yeah,
like in a sense, I don't know. I'm not trying to give it away, but yeah, it just gets wild, and it's the type of thing where too, like, she's trying to find certain people that's talking shit, and then certain things happen, and it'll just lead her on a wild goose chase with other things. I don't know. It's just super weird. It's just like Atlanta, to where you think an episode is about this, and then all of a sudden you're like somewhere else.
Nothing to do with it. Completely. And then you go, what happened to this? What? Well, hold on. Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
We were just here. Yeah.
Like, dude, even just the weirdness of Atlanta. Like you got the beginning. It's just like, it's about him trying to manage his cousin and make him a famous rapper. You know what I mean? And then by the end of like season 3, like his ex-girlfriend goes on tour with them in France, and they lose her for like a month, and then they end up running into her, and she's in France speaking French to all these people, and everyone in town knows her, and she has a baguette in her backpack hanging out for like the whole episode. And they're like, how long have you had that? And she's like, I've had it for days. And like, why are you still carrying it? And she's like, don't worry about it. And then she ends up beating someone with it. She's like, you know what happens to baguettes after they've been out for a few days? It's like, you're like, wow, this really
took a turn.
It took a turn, So I guess that's the mind of Donald Glover. He's just super weird and a genius at the same time.
That's true. That's true.
Kind of go hand in hand, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, if you like murder and laughing at some of the murders,
some of the murders are very comedic, even though someone's being brutally murdered. It's kind of like it's like okay, so yeah.
Yeah. So guys, what do you think about Donald Glover? Have you seen Swarm? Leave it in the comments. Tell us what you think. And also, if you want us to watch something very specific that you think we'd like, hit us up with some suggestions at nerdingoutwithrickshaw@gmail.com. And guys, I'll see y'all later.
You Kid Rock.
I'll see you later, nerds.